Historic corruption verdict involving Sirisia Member of Parliament John Waluke. The Director of Public Prosecutions now says the state will seize the MP's assets if he fails to pay the 1 billion shilling fine imposed on him yesterday. Waluke and his co-convict Grace Wakhungu face a jail sentence of not less than 7 years following their conviction in the 313 million shilling maize scandal. But as Stephen Leto reports, the duo's lawyers say they have already filed a notice of appeal to challenge the court's decision.
The landmark verdict on the Sirisia MP and his co-accused Grace Wakhungu was widely applauded across the country. But a day after it was issued by Chief Magistrate Elizabeth Juma, confusion still reigns over the exact magnitude of the punishment the two will face following their historic sentencing. The Director of Public Prosecution dispatching a team of prosecutors to set the record straight, led by State Counsel Alex Muteti. The Office of the DPP termed the ruling a loud message to other high-profile individuals who have been dipping their hands into public coffers.
That it is going to be a very loud message to those that engage in corruption. It also confirms that we do not just take cases to court for the sake of it. We have really done our groundwork before we present anyone to court.
Chief Magistrate Elizabeth Juma of the Anti-Corruption Court sentenced John Waluke and Grace Wakhungu in several counts that, among others, directed the two to pay double the 297 million shillings they fraudulently obtained from the NCPB.
The three of the accused persons, of course, you know the third accused is a company, but the two, being directors, the first and the second accused person, also bear responsibility for the payment of those fines. We have a cumulative figure of 2,062,776,686. That is as per the information we were able to gather from the court file.
For John Waluke, he will now have to pay 1.04 billion shillings, failure to which he will be forced to serve 7 years in jail. If he chooses to serve the jail term, he will be out in 2027. His co-accused Grace Wakhungu will on her side serve 7 years in jail if she does not pay 1.02 billion shillings. According to the prosecutors, the two will share the fine of the erred company where they are both directors. But Waluke's lawyers have termed it a double jeopardy.
Who is going to pay for the company? It is the same first and second convict. You convict the directors, tell them to pay. You convict the company, tell the company to pay. Did you hear the company being sent to prison? There is no prison. So if the court wanted to provide a sentence for all the three, then it could have also imprisoned the company. If directors have been charged, they carry the burden. And therefore, that is a misnomer.
If the two pay the entire 2.0 billion shillings fine, the money will be deposited at the courts and later channeled back to the treasury for rebudgeting, and the two will be released. But if the two fail to pay the fine and serve their jail terms, the DPP says their assets will be seized and the money paid back to the NCPB. But their lawyers are vowing to appeal, terming the DPP's interpretation as laughable.
We raised questions. These are senior citizens above the age of going to prison. The court ignored that. We feel the court was more mechanical than being realistic. We shall be moving to the High Court to tell the court that, one, the sentence was unconstitutional.
Definitely they signaled yesterday that they intend to file an appeal. We welcome them and we are prepared to meet them at any stage.
There is, however, no clear provision in law that automatically makes the Sirisia MP lose his seat after he was convicted. The prosecution now hanging on when the MP will miss 8 sittings while in prison and the Speaker declares the seat vacant.
If people are stepping out of office when they have been charged, then it makes no sense for one to argue that you can be convicted and you continue holding public office. And that is a case we are prepared to take all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Back in his backyard of Sirisia, Waluke supporters poured their anger to the streets, protesting the ruling, saying it was too harsh for the lawmaker. A melee that saw local politician Moses Nandalwe's vehicle destroyed in Sirisia market, forcing the police to lob tear gas canisters to disperse the rowdy demonstrators.
Hata tunataka tu saa hizi watupe pay bill. Changia mtu wetu.
For now, Waluke is still at the Kileleshwa police station, awaiting COVID-19 testing and processing before he is admitted to community prison. Stephen Letos, Citizen TV.